Finding Dory is the sequel to 2003's Finding Nemo, and is this time centered around Dory. The film takes place a year after the events of Finding Nemo. Dory is hanging out with Marlin and Nemo as a family, and one day she receives a flashback and she realizes that she had a family at one point. So this sets off an adventure for Dory and Marlin and Nemo to go off to California in an attempt to find Dory's family in this film. Okay, so I'm just gonna come out and say it. I try to maintain as much professionalism as I can in my reviews, but I'm probably going to get really giddy in this review because this movie is adorable. This was such a great movie and such an emotional movie as well. I really enjoyed this film, and I can't believe I'm saying it. I liked it better than Finding Nemo. Here's the thing with Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is a phenomenal film. It is such an emotionally driven film. Like, not only is it beautiful to look at, the environment, the ocean, and the sea creatures of the ocean, not only is that like awesome to look at, but it's a very emotionally driven film. We have family issues, we have tragedies in this film. It's a very nice script and an awesome story. However, me personally, the replay value of Finding Nemo, it's at a low because it's also a hard film to watch. It's pretty intense for a kid's film. Don't get me wrong, I love Finding Nemo. I'm just saying it's hard to watch sometimes because it's so emotionally driven. But I will say one of the portions of Finding Nemo that kept me going throughout the film was the character Dory. And considering now that we have a film centered around the character Dory, it's such a fun movie. The replay value is so high. It's funny, it's emotional, it's heartwarming. Like I said, I loved it. I thought it was better than Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo is a great movie, but I really did love Finding Dory. Ellen DeGeneres' character in this film is so funny and lovable. I think this is one of Pixar's best characters, and I love how the movie, it brought back the comedic aspect of the short-term memory loss, but I love how it also acknowledges that it's a problem for Dory. Because of this, she lost her family as a child, and it's really affecting her relationship with Marlin and Nemo and people around her, or not people, fish around her. And that's another thing too. The fish in this movie, like in Finding Nemo and in this film, is that the fish seem like actual people. They bring humanity to these fishes by just with very awesome voice acting in this film. Like, it's very believable dialogue, and it almost feels like it's too real. And it's just, oh my god, the script is fantastic with this dialogue, and coming from the fish, it's like, oh my god, that's amazing. Not only did I just enjoy the look of the movie and just the environment and the settings, like the ocean and the marine lab that they have to go to in the middle of the film, but I also love the designs of the new characters, and especially the new characters that were brought into this film. Like, we received a lot of memorable characters from Finding Nemo, and even though a portion of them don't come back into this film, we're introduced to new characters that really fill in that blank space. I especially love the octopus in this movie. I thought he was a great addition, very grumpy. It's a character that you're not necessarily supposed to like. I really think there was a really emotional side story with him and how he built a relationship with Dory in this film. I was really scared that he was gonna be like a villain in this film, like he was gonna turn out to be a villain or something like that, because I didn't think that this film needed a villain, but no, he didn't turn into a villain. It was actually like a really good side story, and it brought more emotion to the film as well. I definitely like the octopus and the relationship that he builds with Dory. It starts off a little grumpy and he doesn't really like Dory. He's trying to just get something from Dory, but it turns into like this memorable thing in the movie, and it was very heartwarming. I also didn't mind the new voice actor slash actor, I don't know, is it a voice actor or actress that voiced Nemo? As you guys know, it has been 13 years since the original Finding Nemo came out. That person's not gonna sound like Nemo after 13 years, so they had to get like a person to voice like similar to Nemo in this film, and it worked. It pretty much worked for me. I was able to watch this and hear the dialogue and think like, okay, that's Nemo. There were some parts where I was like, that's a little different, but like, you know, a year has passed. Anything can happen in a year, so maybe a character-wise, I mean, that could make sense. So I'm thinking way too much into this. Nemo, I felt as though Nemo was Nemo in this movie. That's pretty much it. And it's also amazing to me that, okay, like in regards to development, It's been 13 years since we've seen a Finding Nemo Finding movie or whatever you want to call it. Like, what are we calling this franchise? The Finding franchise? It's been 13 years since we've seen another movie like this, you know? And it feels as though like it was yesterday since we saw Finding Nemo. It feels like everybody's still the same. Everybody's still like, you know, alive in this movie. And it's amazing how these characters have not changed whatsoever. Like, you can literally watch Finding Nemo and you can watch Finding Dory, like, in a day. And you're not really going to spot much difference. If you pay attention to the voice of Nemo, I mean, maybe, but, like, there's really not much difference whatsoever. These characters are still the same, and I really enjoyed that portion of the film where it was, like, nothing has really changed whatsoever. Guys, check out Finding Dory. It is an amazing film. I loved looking at it. I love the characters. I love the emotional background to it. I didn't mention this, but the pacing in this movie is so well done. It is a well-paced film. It almost felt like something that I would see at a theme park where, like, you know, if there was like a ride centered around our favorite characters, like our favorite Pixar characters, it felt like that. It felt like I was like in a theme park ride, but this is a movie. It was very well paced. It seemed like something was like happening like throughout, and there wasn't a time where I was bored. I was either watching like action progression taking place in the film, or I was like really invested emotionally. It's very well paced and very well done. Also, I want to say, guys, stay after the credits. This is actually a really fun side story. Okay, so usually like when I see a movie, I check on Wikipedia to see if there's anything after the credits. I checked for this movie. It didn't say there was anything after the credits, but we decided to stay for a little while. I guess like my friends wanted to stay, and there was something after the credits. And if you have seen Finding Nemo, of course you have probably already seen Finding Nemo, you will just like smile so much because there is something after the credits. So this was a lesson to me. I'm not going to check Wikipedia to see if like there's anything after the credits anymore, because obviously whoever wrote that article or whoever made it didn't update it or something like that. So yes, there is something after Finding Dory. You should definitely check it out. So yes, guys, that was my review of Finding Dory. Comment down below what you thought of this movie if you've seen it yet. Like the video, share it, and please subscribe to PixelTalk if you haven't yet for more movie reviews, trailer reactions, and gaming content. Also, if you'd like to support me on Patreon, you can by clicking this banner right here. Alright guys, thank you so much. I am Corbin Stuckey, and this is PixelTalk.